coming down almost to the grand old party.
There's been no change in party leadership.
Congress leaders were certain that the BJP
Sonia Gandhi is the one who made the family firm.
24 Akbar Road, the heart of Delhi's VVIP zone. This is the All India Congress Committee headquarters. Once a throbbing power centre of the nation,
you would have jolly well done something up till now in the past 5 years.
now the pokey corridors wear an eerie look.
I think the only constant in life is change. And an organization or a political party has to keep changing itself to adapt to the new realities.
There isn't a fundamental ideological dilution. I think what has really happened is that you've made adjustments according to how situations have evolved.
Ours is a very is a party with a very rich dictionary of wisdom. We take time in adjusting. We take time in understanding.
Elections are won and lost, but the work of a nation never ends. With all my strength, I shall continue to serve the people of India.
But before we venture into the anatomy of the crisis writ large on these lonely walls, let's paint you a picture in the language that politicians speak. Since 2014, when the Narendra Modi-led NDA tsunami hit them, the Congress has been in steady freefall, losing 39 out of the 49 state elections held. Close to 200 MPs and MLAs have left the party, almost all of them unceremoniously. Defeated in state after state, the Congress is in full-fledged power in only 2 states. That's Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. The picture in Parliament is worse in many ways. The Congress managed just 52 Lok Sabha seats in 2019. Mind you, this was the exact same party that dominated the House with 206 seats when the UPA-2 came to power. This was back in 2009.
Namaskar. Should I start? Congress party has done pretty badly. There's a lot for us to think about. And as Vice President of the party, I hold myself responsible for what has happened. Thank you.
The Congress party is certainly in a state of crisis, yes. Cumulatively, we have won less than 100 seats nationwide in the last 2 general elections. So there is definitely an electoral crisis. So we really need to reinvent ourselves. We really need to reposition ourselves.
I don't think it's true that the Congress party is not doing enough. Of course, we've not won as many elections as we'd like to win. But that doesn't mean that there is the will has gone away. We're fighting with hunger, we're fighting to win. We're not contesting for the sake of contesting.
You look at the Congress party office, the 24 Akbar Road, it has a one barrack 12 by 8 room nameplate outside saying that the Congress Central Election Authority we want to sit and deliberate upon. That room is not sufficient. There is no mechanism to fight elections.
Anybody within the Congress party who is under this false notion that this is just a temporary aberration or a setback from which the Congress party can just automatically recover, they are living in a fool's paradise. This is an existential crisis.
In early 2022, the Congress scored its latest epic string of losses, failing to win in all 5 states that went to polls.
Of course, like I said earlier, I think it's important for the Congress to win state elections, because unless we capture those states and get people's mandate there, we won't be able to dislodge the NDA government in 2024. Of course, we've lost a few elections in UP, in other Bengal, other states, but that's been a problem for last 25 years. It's nothing new that has come up.
So I think you've got to accept some realities, and some harsh realities on the ground are that we have not been in power in Uttar Pradesh for almost over 35 years now. You're right, we put a lot into this campaign. I think we took a leap of faith in electoral politics and put women in mainstream. Yes, we did lose out, but I don't think it has dissuaded us. I think it has only made our resolve deeper.
भागने का क्या सवाल है? We are here to fight. We are not fighting for winning an election here or an election there. We've won many more elections than the BJP can ever dream of. So forget elections.
See, the fundamental difference between us and the BJP's election machinery is that the BJP has got social organizations outside the political firmament which seem to have mass contact with people constantly. For example, they have the RSS, they have the ABVP, they have the Bajrang Dal, whereas the Congress party doesn't have social organizations which have mass contact outside the election campaign. So it's not enough only to have mass contact or outreach during elections and expect results.
Alarmingly for the party, this included the state of Punjab, where they were expected to comfortably win before a bungled change of guard.
Nothing symbolizes the disastrous nature of Congress's election management than what happened in Punjab. What kind of logic did you have in place when you decided to replace Captain Amrinder Singh? Who do you replace him with? A relative non-entity like Charanjit Singh Channi, who, as we speak, is today in Canada, not even wanting to return after his defeat from 2 seats. And your other choice in Navjot Singh Sidhu is in jail serving a prison sentence.
The Congress is in a state of denial. And there is a saying in Hindi कि हमारे बाप दादा ने घी खाया था, हमारी हथेली सूंघ लो. There is too much of past reliances there.
With no end to the political blood loss and the numbers becoming more daunting with each passing day, the interim president, Sonia Gandhi, had no choice but to hit the alarm button.
Well, the train, Chetak Express, has arrived here. You can see behind me.
The who's who of the party flocked to a luxury resort for emergency contemplation.
3 दिन के चिंतन शिविर में बहुत सारी बातें आएगी। कांग्रेस मजबूती से इस चिंतन शिविर से निकलेगी।
कई अहम फैसले होंगे, क्योंकि अब वक्त आ गया कि हम इंतजार नहीं कर सकते।
आउटकम तो भी आना है। चिंतन शिविर होना यही एक अहम बात अपने आप।
नई उमंग, एक नया जोश, एक नई दृष्टि।
This is Mosmi Singh in Udaipur for India Today. Perhaps there was a belief in the party high command that if there is a post-mortem, Rahul Gandhi's role or Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's role in UP would be analysed critically, and there would be a lot of knives that will be out for the Gandhi leadership. And that's one reason that just very shortly before the Chintan Shivir, this Nav Sankalp Shivir was recoined by the Congress strategists who were close to the Rahul Gandhi camp.
राहुल जी कई बड़े फैसले लिए गए, क्या कहेंगे?
नमस्कार
राहुल जी
What was supposed to be an introspection conclave turned into a brainstorming session for the next national election in 2024.
हमारे संगठन के सामने परिस्थितियां उत्पन्न हुई है, वे अभूतपूर्व है। असाधारण परिस्थितियों का मुकाबला असाधारण तरीके से ही किया जा सकता है।
Sonia Gandhi's call was loud and clear to the party. It was time to hit the reset button and provide a clear new direction for the Congress on how to pick up the pieces, how to stand up and fight back for its space.
Such brainstormings should not be once in a 5-year event or once in a 5 or 10-year event. They should be held biannually, because political parties, organizations which do not think together are really not able to wrap their head around the challenges which confront them.
Make sure that we change with positivity, but those changes must yield results. We must be looked at as a party of the future that delivers, that people have a resounding faith in, and that we can rise to the challenge. And that organizational change, attitude change, perception change, I think it all comes together.
So yes, you have to wake up, you have to smell the coffee, you've got to get together, re-strategize, get back to the drawing board, and I think that is what happened in Udaipur. I had a seat at the table where I could voice my opinion on issues about economy or politics, and I think which other party does that?
What followed was restructuring, at least in terms of the party's communication. On the back of rising inflation, of price rise and of soaring unemployment, the Congress party decided to take the concerns of common citizens to the streets. That Friday, a statement was silently being made.
See any threat to Congress from the BJP in near future?
Communalism is the real enemy here. The BJP is one part of increasing communalism.
How are you enjoying the onset of dictatorship in India? Are you enjoying it? जो समाज को बांटा जा रहा है, उसके बारे में हम चर्चा करना चाहते हैं.
Well, every opposition party has to be aggressive. I mean, after all, when you are in the opposition, what is your role? Your role is to really articulate the concerns of the people, which you think that the government of the day or the dispensation or the administration which is in office is ignoring.
Because this government was voted in with I think some amount of faith that they're going to do some things. What they have instead done is colossal jumlas, and so people are angry. So when we talk, I think we reflect the people of this country.
Ramat prashyati kalabhema bhujago ramasya sarvam vashe.
And it took them a whole day to come up with this narrative, to say that this is because of it coincides with the Bhumi Puja of the Ram temple.
कांग्रेस ने इसमें हिडन तरीके से अपनी अपीसमेंट की पॉलिसी को आगे बढ़ाया है, मगर आज 5 अगस्त है. आज ही के दिन करोड़ों लोगों की आस्था का केंद्र जो राम जन्मभूमि है, वहां पर इस देश के लोकप्रिय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने भूमि पूजन किया था.
And that's what the BJP is also doing. They're saying this is just optics.
But I don't think that's true, because there's been a sustained campaign against price rise, inflation, unemployment are 3 issues that we've been talking about for past few years.
If we are talking about price rise, if we are talking about GST, it's out of curriculum for them.
The ruling dispensation always counters that with a very vociferous narrative, divisive talks. They try to divert the attention.
They have their own self-limiting politics. They can only think in terms of polarization. They can only think in divisive politics.
While all Congress leaders descended onto the streets of the national capital, 2 leaders spearheaded the charge and were at the epicenter of the dharna: Rahul Gandhi and his sister Priyanka.
राहुल गांधी खुद आ चुके हैं, धरने पे बैठ गए हैं आके. बैरिकेड क्रॉस करने की एक्सक्लूसिव तस्वीरें देखिए. राहुल गांधी बैठे हुए हैं, बिल्कुल फ्रंट से लीड कर रहे हैं इस वक्त.
कुछ भी चीज हासिल करनी होती है, टीम वर्क से होता है.
तो प्रियंका को राजनीति में कब ला रहे हैं?
अब वो आप उनसे पूछिए. मगर ये आप जो कह रहे हैं, किसका श्रेय है, ये एक व्यक्ति का नहीं है.
That gave the BJP enough ammunition to pounce on the party and further amplify the charge.
The Congress is not a party, it's a private limited company. It's a family firm. It's a family-run enterprise.
Whenever you talk about the Congress party, so it's not so much of your angst against the Congress party, it's Rahul Gandhi that you have a problem with.
Definitely. Rahul Gandhi humiliated me like anything. Gogoi humiliated like me anything. So in a personal note, this is a sweet victory.
The problem is with the way a family is running a historical movement. It is all about the way that a family has captured an organization. You talk about Gandhi family, nobody talks Mahatma Gandhi, Tushar Gandhi, Rajmohan Gandhi. They talk about Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi.
What is the obsession for the ruling party with the Gandhi Parivar?
Well, that's a question which you should ask the BJP. I think it's in a part of our DNA to have that obsession with the individual, and I don't think that really does any service if you are looking at the well-being of 140 crore people.
How can that be? This is a bigger political question, because this is not confined to Congress. In Indian political system, there are many states where a party is actually captured or ruled by a family, and most of the decisions are taken in dining table.
And that brings us to the question that everyone seems to ask: why can't the Congress look beyond the Gandhis?
Consensus is more than a buzzword for the Congress. Very often it has meant its very survival, because the party is split prone. In 1978, there was another split when Mrs. Gandhi formed the Congress I.
Welcome to News Track. In our lead story, Sonia Gandhi. Will she live up to their expectations?
As the party started losing its hold without a charismatic leader,
Sonia was seen as a potential savior. Though Sonia's political acumen has never been put to the test, congressmen see her as the inheritor of the Nehru legacy.
One criticism that has always been made against Indira Gandhi, it's made against you, it's been made against the Gandhi family, is promoting dynasty.
मेरा सौभाग्य है कि मैं एक ऐसे परिवार की सदस्य हूँ जिसने कई पुश्तों से देश की लगातार सेवा की है. In politics, you are elected and you are defeated democratically. और उनके कुछ सिद्धांत थे जिनके साथ उन्होंने कभी समझौता नहीं किया.
It is with the utmost humility that I will always be walking in the shadow of giants.
So much more is expected of us because we have a certain surname, because we belong to a certain family. मैं इंदिरा जी की बहू हूँ और किसी से नहीं डरती.
Why can't they look beyond Rahul Gandhi, who wields power with no position, zero accountability, despite leading his party to two shattering, humiliating defeats?
See, Rahul Gandhi is himself to be blamed. He's a very unconventional politician. Everyone knows in 2017, Rahul Gandhi had actually he had put up a very good fight in Gujarat. But this time around, what is Rahul Gandhi doing? Instead of fighting assembly elections in Gujarat and in Himachal, he is going for a yatra, a political yatra. Now, how do you quantify the success of a yatra?
Frankly, if I was Rahul Gandhi, I would say, you want me to apologize for a world statesman like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru? And by allowing yourself to be burdened by it, I think he's just weakened, the whole, dynastic story.
If the BJP is obsessed with what Mr. Gandhi is doing or Sonia Gandhi is doing or what Priyanka Gandhi is doing, then that's their problem. These are leaders of the Congress party. They're leading from the front. I think they take on the BJP and the government of India head on.
This government constantly refuses to accept responsibility.
भागने की कौन बात कर रहा है? हम इंटिमिडेट नहीं होंगे. हम नरेंद्र मोदी से नहीं डरते हैं. समझ गए बात?
I come from a rural constituency like Maharajganj. When I go back to my constituency and I ask normal people or I ask the Congress workers, who is your leader? They don't name any of the people that you named here. They name Rahul Gandhi as their leader. So should I be hypocritical? Should I, because I need to adjust in Latvian conversations, come back and say, oh yeah, somebody else should be a leader? If they believe Rahul Gandhi is the leader, who am I to make a hypocrisy of this? And 100 out of 100 people tell me that their leader is Rahul Gandhi.
Why they attack leaders of the Congress party? It's an old obsession. It's nothing new. It's been happening for years together. It's not about one individual. It's about the opposition, the Congress party, doing what the people expect it to do.
I am questioning those people in the BJP who keep running our leadership down. Who are you? This is my leadership. I get to choose my leadership. Rahul Gandhi is the man who started his role as the leader in the opposition with the Suit Boot Ki Sarkar, and that slogan really rattled the Prime Minister. I haven't seen him wear a suit boot after that.
The reason BJP put so much focus on Rahul Gandhi is because they are rattled by him. The BJP is so obsessed with Rahul Gandhi is just because they fear something.
Most people in the Congress say they are trying to threaten the country. They are creating an atmosphere of fear and hatred. I can respond to one kind of allegation. Are we threatening him or are we threatened by him? Well, I think Rahul Gandhi is the biggest asset. But unfortunately, he is not an asset for the Congress. We treat him like an asset. We don't need lectures about who's not securing democratic rights and the free and fair democracy in this country from a person like Rahul Gandhi. His own track record should tell us a lot.
The fact is that Rahul Gandhi is extremely relevant, not just to the BJP. He scares the living daylights out of them.
मुझे कहते हैं सही बात बोलने के लिए माफी बोलूं, माफी मांगूं. मेरा नाम राहुल सावरकर नहीं है, मेरा नाम राहुल गांधी है.
But he's also extremely relevant to India's politics because he represents the exact opposite of what Mr. Modi stands for.
To my mind, the BJP's most successful campaign in the last decade has been the pappufication of Rahul Gandhi.
कांग्रेस पप्पू का गुलगुला बन गई है.
पप्पू हैं
और पप्पू
प्लीज चाहे पप्पू हों, पप्पू है कि नहीं,
उनके एक युवा नेता हैं
अभी भाषण सीख रहे हैं।
आपके लिए मैं पप्पू हूँ, आपके लिए मैं अलग अलग गाली दे सकते हो, मगर मेरे अंदर आपके खिलाफ इतना सा भी गुस्सा, इतना सा भी क्रोध, इतनी सी भी नफरत नहीं है। मैं कांग्रेस हूँ और ये सब कांग्रेस हैं, और कांग्रेस ने और इस भावना ने इस देश को बनाया है। इस बात को आप कभी मत भूलिए।
They have consistently targeted Rahul Gandhi, often unfairly, to the point where Rahul Gandhi's credibility as a leader has been almost decimated.
Vilification of Rahul ji gets attraction not only because BJP does it. Huge section of media is complicit in it. My interaction with him or my leader, TSV ji, we have found him very sincere, committed to certain ideas on which people don't speak. There are challenges to Congress and Rahul ji. We understand. But those challenges can be met, can be overcome.
I can say the same about the BJP, for example. Are all decisions in the BJP consensual, are unanimous? Are not 2 or 3 people running the government, running the party? So these allegations, counter allegations don't hold much water. What's more important is, as a political party, are you rising to the occasion? Whether you're in government or opposition, you have a job to do. You'll win elections, you lose elections. But you don't stray from what your commitments are.
So here's the picture. After the rout in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, where the Congress managed an embarrassing 52 seats, Rahul took responsibility and stepped down as president.
Congress President Rahul Gandhi, in his address to the CWC, offered his resignation as the party president.
I know the strength of the Congress when it is in power.
Frankly, today it doesn't matter what I think went wrong. What matters is that the people of India have decided that Narendra Modi is going to be the Prime Minister.
And I know that the Congress is doubly strong when it is sitting on the opposition benches.
Hopefully, he will look after the interest of this country. Thank you very much.
But he was clearly in a huff, obliquely blaming party elders for not toeing his line. Rahul Gandhi may have quit the highest position of responsibility in the party, but most leaders still followed his sulking, retreating figure.
Here is the man who talks his mind, who's not compromised, who's not tainted at all, and asks tough questions. Show me one politician in India who can do that. That's a simple answer.
A large party will have differences. I mean, a large party, particularly a Congress party, which is not, as rigid as the BJP, will have differences. People will have ideas. I love the Congress for that. The differences in the Congress is actually a healthy sign of a vibrant democratic institution.
The letter which was written 2 years back was not a form of dissent. The letter was not written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The letter was written by people who've spent a lifetime in the Congress party, bringing certain things to the attention of the Congress president, that in our estimation, these are some of the issues which need to be addressed. It was not about dissent, it was not about challenging A leader or B leader or C leader. It was about issues which we thought were germane enough to be flagged for the attention of the AICC Secretariat.
I mean, it's an interesting bit that you say that somebody would want to be a fly on the wall when we discuss Congress strategy. They will be very pleasantly surprised. Some of the debates are extremely hot. They seem to be pulling in all kinds of directions. But I think the unique thing about whether it is Rahul ji or whether it is Priyanka ji, there is a lot of efforts to not make this a top-down, one-man, one-writ looming large.
From being called a reluctant part-time politician to the very fulcrum of Congress's decline, Rahul Gandhi is target number one, not just for his rivals but for many within the party itself.
If for 20 years the Congress Working Committee did not force a change, while it's easy to blame the Gandhis today, I think it is a collective responsibility of the seniors within the party who abdicated their own role the way they should have fulfilled it.
Politics is not about body language on one day. It's not about the single sharp soundbite. Rahul Gandhi has practiced for the longest time a kind of erratic form, a whimsical form of politics, where one day you are involved in activity, next day you've disappeared. Politics, whether you like it or not, requires a sustained engagement with your organization, with the people, 24/7.
To battle the rumblings of rebellion at home, Rahul has ordered fresh presidential elections for the party in October. So here's a little bit of history, just so you know that the party has had non-Gandhis become party presidents. UN Debar and K. Kamaraj are among the few. The pattern changed when Indira Gandhi took over in 1978. Soon after, the party was ousted from the centre for the first time. And after her assassination in 1984, her son Rajiv took over proceedings that lasted 6 years. Post his demise, P.V. Narasimha Rao and Sitaram Kesari had brief terms till Sonia Gandhi came to the front to spearhead the party since 1998. From there on, there's been no looking back.
Simply having a new head is not going to change the party. You're going to need to energize the party at every level if it is to become truly competitive and take on the kind of juggernaut that the BJP is today.
I do believe that this is an opportunity for the Congress party to look beyond the Gandhis. Nothing wrong at all. Let somebody else take over. So whether it's Shashi Tharoor, Ashok Gehlot, Sachin Pilot, anybody, I mean, they can all take a shot at it. And it doesn't mean that Priyanka will be irrelevant or Rahul will be irrelevant.
None of them are elected. They are all selected and handpicked. And therefore, what is happening in the form of an election is nothing but a sham and a fixed match and a coronation.
I don't know who chose Nadda, nor am I interested in knowing. I don't know which election made Amit Shah the president of BJP for 2 terms. I'm not interested. But why are they obsessed with my leadership?
If the Congress party is saying this as an argument, that what we do is our business, then the Congress has no business to preach democracy to the entire country. So there is elections in the BJP, there is coronation in the Congress, and for the Congress to say that you can't ask us questions is the sign and symbol of intolerance.
Who do you see as Congress president?
I don't think there should be a Congress president. This party should now, there is no relevance. Why there should be president? It should wind up.
Congress has lost its relevance.
I don't think that after that generation is over, Sardar Patel, Mahatma Gandhi, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, then why now Congress should exist?
Before even stepping into the battlefield of election strategies and crafting that fight against the BJP, his or her priority will be to put an end to the internal bleeding that's debilitated the party for years since 2014, to rebuild the party organization from the ground up and, importantly, instill a long-absent discipline within the ranks. Since 2014, the party has endured multiple setbacks, with leaders ending their long associations with the Congress, from Himanta Biswa Sarma in 2015 to Ghulam Nabi Azad more recently. The party has lost nearly 30 high-profile names. What made things worse and more bitter was many of those dumping the Congress were simply walking across to the enemy camp, to the BJP.
If you want to do politics, you have to do politics with the blessings of people. In democracy, it is always by the people.
I think to do politics of the opposition in today's circumstances is an extremely tough, tall task. With all due respect to all of those who've gone to other sides, how do you make your peace with the fact that you've joined hands with a political force that you've opposed all your life?
I do not know how Congress can level allegation against a person or against any individual who till other day was in the party. People to raat mein hi corrupt nahi banta hai. How you discover his bad virtue only on the day when he joined BJP? If he is a bad, he must be bad from very beginning. Then why you have given him ticket for MLA? Why you have given ticket for MP? That means you are a washing machine. As long as the person is in Congress, you will keep on watching his sin.
People might be unhappy in the organizational structure. That I understand. Many people would be unhappy with the organizational structure. But to leave the party and to go and join a party which is 180 degrees different from you ideologically proves that you never had an ideology in the first place.
First of all, what is your ideology? ideology is the India first. Whenever you are in Congress, whenever you are in BJP, भारत का कल्याण हो, लोगों का कल्याण है, वही तो आपका ideology है. So when you are changing that ideology, we have come from Congress to BJP because we have seen a bigger opportunity of serving people under the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But ideology remains same.
Look at the number of people who left the Congress party, let's say in the 1980s and 90s. What happens to people who left the Congress party? How well do they do? Did you know that Madhavrao Sindhya left the Congress party and formed his own party? Come to the south. Mr. A.K. Anthony in 1982 left the Congress party, formed his own party. What happened in northeast? Mr. Sangma. So what happens to these individuals? A, they either come back to the Congress party, or B, they get their party subsumed into the Congress, or C, like in Mr. Pawar's model, they get to work with the Congress party together. There's one worthy exception to this rule, is Mamta Banerjee. She got expelled on the 22nd of December 1997, and today she's a 3-time chief minister with almost a 3/4 majority in Bengal. And Congress in Bengal have become zero, so have the left. So that's the worthy exception.
We refer to 2023 as a game changer. Why is that? Because 9 states go into elections in the year. In 2 of them, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, the Congress is fighting to stay in power for a successive term.
Frankly, I don't know personally, but yes, I know that in Rajasthan we have a government which is a Congress government. In the last 30 years, we've seen a flip every 5 years. So it's a BJP government, then a Congress government. It's time we break that tradition and have a repeat of the Congress government. History will repeat itself. If we don't do something different to reach out and to make sure we have a serious attempt at winning people's blessings again in next year, December.
Politics, there is no void ever. And in fact, every state, the Congress has more than one capable leader. And that's something, that's a strength we have.
And in Madhya Pradesh, where they were deposed after the high-profile exit of a member of Rahul's inner circle, the hope is to stay as a strong opposition at least.
In 2018, which was the best year that the Congress has had in the last decade, they won Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. And they were part of a government in Karnataka. And yet, they were demolished a year later. General elections are very different to state elections.
Which is why I believe if the Congress were to change the game, have a new leader, get aggressive, go and motivate your cadres and talk to people, the young of India, trust me, the story can change.
And then there's the election that will be closely watched, Karnataka, where the Congress will be looking for political revenge against the BJP after the latter broke up a Congress-JDS government midway by way of defections and ruthless power play.
Always Congress party in Karnataka had paid a way. Even at the time when Janata Party came to power in the national level, when Indira Gandhi was being defeated, it is Karnataka. It has created hundreds of leaders in this country. First time when I contested an election, I was a student leader. As a student, I contested the election. And now I am there with a lot of very rich experience. We want this state to be seen in a different angle, which has very big strength, which has contributed to the growth of this country.
But before that sudden fight begins, the Congress has been caught sitting on its hands on an extremely crucial decision.
I think it is very important for the Congress to sort this thing out. I mean, there are compelling reasons on both sides that, should there be a chief ministerial face and should there not be a chief ministerial face. The Congress is always very tentative and indecisive, and it falls between the two stools. It must take a call. It must experiment.
No outfit knows this better than the Congress party. In every state, there's always been at least a two-way fight for the party's chief ministerial face ahead of an election.
That decision is with the party, and even the BJP or any other party, sometimes they announce depending on the circumstances, but usually the Congress party doesn't announce a face that so-and-so will be chief minister, because it's a collective effort. And then whoever the legislative members of the party decide becomes the leader, and the person becomes chief minister. This rivalry issue, it's also because you have strong leaders, right? So I'm not at all that worried about who will get what position. It's the party has to win.
We saw it happen in Chhattisgarh.
to your point about differences in the open, yes, I wish there were fewer differences in the open. But then, you know, we are a melting pot. We allow people to disagree with the leadership, so it's all right.
When you use the word management of egos, I differ. It's not egos, it's aspirations. Why do you expect a temporary, an artificial, hunky-dory atmosphere within an organization? Why should there be artifice?
No one can forget the infamous ongoing hostilities in Rajasthan.
The Congress, I think that charge is not true, but perhaps I think a better alignment of two generations is what we require to do moving forward, and then have a cohesive sort of a coming together of two forces, and that will be formidable.
Then there was the public verbal spats that broke out in Punjab again in the run-up to an election.
कांग्रेस खुद के कारणों से कमजोर हो रही है, उनको किसी बाहरी दुश्मन की जरूरत ही नहीं है, और कांग्रेस पार्टी कोई भी चुनाव जीतने की इच्छा शक्ति के साथ लड़ती ही नहीं है। उनके अंदर वो विल पावर नहीं है कि वो चुनाव जीतने के लिए लड़े। वो चुनाव शुरुआत ही इसी से करते हैं कि हमें तो चुनाव हारना है। तो कांग्रेस पार्टी को बाहर के किसी व्यक्ति को लड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो आपस में लड़ने के लिए काफी है, आपस में एक दूसरे को कमजोर करने के लिए काफी है।
Like Punjab, where the Congress was the front runner and should have won the elections until they committed harakiri or political suicide, I hope the Congress doesn't do that in Karnataka. That's a state that the Congress party can actually win.
Two Congress leaders taking potshots publicly at each other. Former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Party President D.K. Shivkumar.
See, it is not important that I be the Chief Minister or X be the Chief Minister. There are so many leaders who have contributed for the growth of the party in the state. There are various leaders, not 1, 2, 3, 4. There are more than 10 leaders are there. Like Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge was the president. He was a leader of the opposition who have contributed for the growth of the party, strengthening the party, keeping the party united. We believe everyone has to work together.
The last thing I think the Congress needs to now do is allow factionalism to destroy the Karnataka Congress, because then, you know, it will be yet another case of the Congress never missing an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
See, there is no any friction or any groups in the party. Congress has only one group, that is the Congress group. No individual group is being allowed. I don't believe in it. I believe in collective leadership. There are various leaders in our party. We will all join together. We will see that Congress party coming to power is important. It is not me or Siddaramaiah is not important here. We have to serve the people. We are working together. We will see that the Congress will be in power.
I welcome this idea of multiple ambitious leaders vying for position within units. See, there is a methodology within the Congress hierarchy to sort out these issues. But if there is somebody who is going to become the overwhelming favorite leader among the cadre, I don't think anybody can prevent that person from becoming a leader.
And now to our final chapter. What does the future hold for the Congress party? Ironically, an astrologer had said that the party's fate line is blurred, referring to the party's famous emblem.
You have to stop the BJP in 2024, and therefore they need to move heaven and earth. That if there's any one party that can stop the BJP even today, it is the Congress.
The obituary of the Congress party is a pet project of a lot of people. It's a 137-year-old party, let's not forget that. Understands how to respond to situations, learns, unlearns. Histories of India and the Congress party are so intertwined with each other. It cannot be separated.
The party which now gives dictation to everyone that all political parties shall be finished, only China kind of model, that Bharatiya Janata Party is the only party in India. They must not forget they were two. They had to struggle for so many years. I wish them luck. But at the same time, they should not ridicule other political parties, including Congress.
The Congress at the moment is facing the most ruthless, energetic, resourceful election machine in the history of independent India in the form of the Modi-Shah BJP.
The Congress party's future is very much in its own hands. Political parties in the past have been guilty of not evolving, of completely losing their relevance, and that is literally the Congress's battle today.
You see, that's a call which eventually the people of India will take. And there are 543 seats in the Lok Sabha which will be up for grabs. The question is that who has the footprint to be able to really have that pan-India presence in an efficacious manner.
We may have lost 2 elections, but don't forget we won 2 elections back to back, 2004 and 2009. Nothing remains the same. People who got huge victories have had to suffer huge losses. And that may and very well will apply to the BJP and NDA.
See, the Congress's strength is the fact that the people must perceive us as the natural party of governance in the centre. And at the moment, they don't perceive us as that, but that can be regained.
137 years of legacy, the battle for identity pre-independence, the contribution to India's freedom movement, and some of the country's most iconic leaders, yet a continuing fall into darkness. The Congress has only itself to blame and only itself to save.
But the fulcrum and the bedrock of a pan-India opposition and the pole and the pivot can only be the Congress, because it's the only party that has presence, like I said, all across India. And of course, that's something that the BJP is very wary of.
This is the march of time, and these are the cycle of events. And you're absolutely fine that across the world, there have been instances where political parties have got eclipsed. The Liberals, the Whigs, they are classical examples. But in my estimation, I think those fears or those apprehensions or that skepticism with regard to the Indian National Congress may be a tad exaggerated. In my estimation, things will settle down because there is an intrinsic genius which the Indian people have of discerning as to what is good and what is bad for them.
It's flawed to say that the Congress could ever become irrelevant. I think Congress, in many ways, represents large sections of our people. We stand for diversity, we stand for all languages, we stand for all regions. How can we ever become irrelevant? Yes, electoral setbacks will set us thinking, they will set us re-strategizing, but I don't think we can ever become irrelevant.
A vibrant democracy that believes in the power of the opposition will no doubt be rooting for a Congress revival.
The Congress have to do well in those 3-4 states where they have a one-on-one contest with BJP, and I say well means not necessarily win but not lose too badly also in some states like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh.
I think let's not hurry. Let's not conclude that Rahul's time is over, he cannot do anything. For that matter, Congress time is over, they cannot do anything. The same fate line got Congress absolute majority in 18. That was the first election on Punjab. I reiterate what I said. राजनीति की तस्वीर बदलनी है ना, तो राजनीति को देखने का तरीका बदलना होगा.
But whether the next few years translate into a true rebirth or a continued descent into dust is completely in the party's hands.
सबने स्टेज की तरफ उंगली दिखाई और कहा कि जितने नेता बैठे हुए हैं कोई काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, उनका संबंध टूट गया है लोगों के साथ.
If we are to survive as a responsible political organization, we have to go back to the grassroots. I am confident that the next time around we will emerge triumphant.